Hello, my name is Ethan. I'm a second year conducting student at Manus College of Music in New York. It is a privilege to be your curator or tour guide through a world of wonderful repertoire through dictation experiences. Again, let's not call these exercises. We have enough dictation exercises in life and in conservatory life. I don't think dictation is what any of us went to conservatory in the first place for, but of course it's manifestly important given how many conservatory programs have dictation classes? There must be something there. On the other side of the coin, I think I can speak for many of us when I say that dictation on a Monday morning, after a long weekend of perhaps not as much practicing and a good more enjoying life, and not necessarily sleeping as much as we could, dictation can be a bit of a hardship. And in any case, even when we're totally awake for it, they're the same sorts of thought processes and ways of listening that tend to repeat themselves class after class. We're going to have a four part, we're going to have our two part. The two part's going to be the same form every time. The one part's going to have lots of figuration. The four part's going to be, all right, let's just get the outer voices, get the harmony, then we can work on the inner voices. They'll take care of themselves through voice leading procedures. And I don't know about you guys. It's very, very important. There were definitely dictation classes that I enjoyed, especially because, if I was frustrated and I knew I had to discover new ways of thinking, that's good. And that's what we want. Because when we're listening to a Brahms symphony or a Mozart opera, we're not thinking, all right, how's this voice leading work? How did Mozart just resolve that 7/6/5 of 5? We're not thinking that. That's not why we're here. I don't think that's why many of us love to listen to music. At least not myself. So let's try to conceive of dictation a little bit differently and use dictation as a means to listen and experience music differently. This should be a really fun experience. That said, this is my first time making these videos, so I'm going to be far from perfect. Hopefully a lot more perfect at the piano than could be possible. I need your moral support, but it's not going to be easy. But also in terms of camera angles and stuff, I think there are a great many things you'd rather look at than my profile. That said, I'm no cinematographer, so if you guys have any suggestions, please leave those in the comments. I'll try to get back to you and implement your suggestions as soon as possible. And today we have Brahms' First Symphony, Second Movement, something I think we're all pretty familiar with. But at the same time, I think this piece is really enriching for a variety of reasons. In the first place, it lies at the heart, at the crossroads of Brahms as a classicist versus Brahms as the innovator. Brahms struggled a lot with the symphony form. We've all heard about the footsteps of Beethoven. Took him 15 years to write this. This movement in particular underwent extensive revision. It used to be an A, B, A, C, A form. There are multiple different forms. This is probably the most extensively revised movement in the piece. Again, E major and a C minor symphony, so we have the four sharps. It's in 3/4. We're just going to look at the string parts for now, because I think that's a good segue between the sorts of exercises and, not exercises, experiences we'll be experiencing in this, experiencing together. I think is the best way of putting it. Where yes, we can absolutely see the voice leading traces and influences of Brahms, or rather of Bach on Brahms. Again, the string quartet and the orchestral string section are probably the best examples of how those procedures are adapted in classical and romantic music. But that said, this is still very, very interesting and, if perhaps not unconventional voice leading, a lot more leapy, a lot more interesting than we might see in a Bach chorale. if the basic principles are very much one and the same. A few things to note: the cello and bass parts throughout these first 8.5 measures, the ones we'll be looking at, are the same. So just notate one of them. Two violins, both in treble, viola and alto clef, cello and bass clef, but feel more than free to notate this on two staves on the ground staff of the piano. The bass line will drop out for a measure and a half. Be sure to note that. The viola and violin are voice crossed for the first two beats of the first measure, but after that there's no voice crossing that I can see. I'm just distilling these to the basic voices, so if there's certain figurations in the middle voices, I'm probably leaving those out. And without further ado, let's jump in and commence our fabulous journey in the world of musical examples that, yes, can be used for educational purposes, but above all, let's remember that these are living, breathing compositions. So I will play through the phrase once, play through the first 4 measures 5 times, with the caveat that the 5th time I'll play the entire phrase. Then the second half, so the 3rd beat of measure 4 to the rest, I'll play 4 times, or 5 times for like it better, because it's a little more complicated. I won't stop in the middle. Feel free to pause the video. I encourage you not to scroll back for any of these videos, but do what you need. And without further ado, here we go. So here's the first chord. Second violin, viola. Alright, first phrase, and every time I would say first phrase or I introduce a phrase with a few words, feel free to pause it right there, because I'll be playing directly after that, so if you need some time to notate, just pause right there. So, first phrase, first 4 measures. Second time, I think I'll highlight the inner voices this time. Second time? Or third time, sorry. Fourth time, penultimate time. Once all the way through. So beat 3 of measure 4 to the end. Remember, no cello slash bass on. Well, you'll hear when it comes in, but it doesn't start. 1, 2. And I think because this phrase is complicated, I'll leave out the bass line for this take, just so that you can hear the inner voices clearer. And if you need to rewind this take because the inner voices might not be clear otherwise, please do so. Fourth time, all the voices again. And final time, and then we'll hear it once through again, and then I'll send you guys on your merry way. And the entire phrase, it's been a pleasure to be with you this afternoon. Feels a bit like the morning, but a pleasure to be with you guys this afternoon. And if you have any suggestions, comments, whatnot, please leave it in the comments, and I'll try to adjust and incorporate your suggestions with all haste. Without further ado, the final phrase. Or no, full phrase. I'm sorry. Final time. Well, it's been a pleasure to be with you, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and hope to see you guys soon.